This video is going to discuss the top 10 songs on Billboard's mainstream rock chart, ending with the week of April 28th, 2018. Welcome to Billboard Gets Rocked. Sorry this video is a few days delayed, but I was at Welcome to Rockville and I'm still going through videos and photos of all the coverage. However, there have been a lot of changes on this chart over the past month. I only got 5 of my 10 predictions correct. So that being said, let's jump into what's going on in the world of mainstream radio rock.
Number 10, Painless by Fozzie. I can honestly say that I did not expect another Fozzie song to appear on the top 10 from the band's latest album, Judas. I felt that the title track was the highlight of that album and anything that Fozzie had created, but I was definitely wrong, and we now see Fozzie back in the top 10 after Painless has been on the chart for 16 weeks. Painless has a decent chorus, and you can hear Y2J really putting in some effort. I think that's what really sells the song. Outside of some good rhythm guitar work, it really feels like a generic rock track, though, that's been done to the point of insanity. That's not really a knock on Fozzie, but rather that this is the radio filler that just eats up time. Hey, we have that new Stone Sour song coming up in a few minutes, so stick around while we play some Fozzie. I don't hate Painless by any means, but I'm not exactly crazy about it. Guitar rhythms and Jericho's delivery are fine, but it doesn't leave much to get people excited.
I don't think Painless will be on the top 10 next month. Yes, I'm aware of all the "you just made the list" jokes that are going to be thrown at me now that I've said that.
Number 9, Death Wish by Red Sun Rising. Coming in at number 9 is a song that has been on the list for over 3 months, but just recently cracked the top 10. It was back in March that the band's sophomore album Thread came out, and it sparked a change in Red Sun Rising into various style directions. Death Wish is arguably my favorite song on the album, and it definitely is one of the band's strongest tracks. The build-up in the song is what I love the most. The vocals don't go over the top, but the percussion picks up in speed and volume, and it leads to a strong performance. On first listen, the song may not seem like much, but it definitely will grow on people if they give it a chance. I reviewed the album back at the end of March, and while I admit I didn't love it, I still think it has a lot of positives, Death Wish being one of them. This is the song that is giving the band more attention after the successful singles from their debut album a few years back. These guys appear to have their heads on straight and want to make something better than status quo, which is always a good attitude to have.
I don't think Death Wish will be on the top 10 next month, but I still think it's a really good track. It also has a really good music video too. Check it out in the YouTube card.
Number 8, What It Is by Jonathan Davis. At number 8 on the list is the frontman of Korn and the single What It Is from the upcoming solo album Black Labyrinth. With Korn taking a break for a bit, we'll get to see what Davis can do on a solo project. What It Is has been on the charts for 12 weeks and now is at its peak at number 8. I heard this track about 2 months ago, and while it's a slow build-up, I think it fits well with Davis' style and what he's known for in rock. A better way to describe this track is that it's a slower and mellower Korn song, and the anger is replaced with brooding. In an interview on Octane, Davis talks about how the song comes down to everything in life being up to fate. It is what it is.
But it is what it is. You don't know how to live with what it is.
I think the song is okay, and it does get better as it goes on. The lack of strong bass behind Jonathan Davis that we are used to hearing from Korn is sorely missed though. The solo album could have potential based on this, but I'm at the wait and see mentality now because I want to hear more than what it is.
Judging just by the name alone of who's behind this solo project, I can see What It Is being on the top 10 next month for sure. I'm also really hoping this new album, Black Labyrinth, actually delivers, because a lot of these solo projects can kinda bomb.
Number 7, Red Cold River by Breaking Benjamin. This song dropped a few spots this past month for number 2, but is still getting quite a lot of airplay. Now that Ember has been released and other Breaking Benjamin songs are getting a little more time, I think it will help carry Red Cold River for another month at least. It's a standard Breaking Benjamin song, and it definitely fits the style of the new album, as it's a bit harder overall than the past few Breaking Benjamin entries. I admit the song isn't the best thing Benjamin Burnley and company have ever made under the band name, but it's definitely not bad, and I'm still fine with it getting airplay. It'll be interesting to see how many more songs come from Ember that make it on the mainstream chart, but Breaking Benjamin is definitely a banner name in rock, so expect more than just this song.
I think Red Cold River will be on the top 10 next month by just barely. People love Benjamin Burnley and having him scream at them through their car stereo. Doesn't even matter what it is, they just want to hear him scream.
Number 6, Do You Really Want It by Nothing More. Following Breaking Benjamin on the chart at number 6 is a song from their summer tour mates. Do You Really Want It moved up 1 spot from last month and is still getting solid airtime along with other songs from the Stories We Tell Ourselves. I said last video that I really love this song in the album, so here's a good example that proves not all mainstream is, the same song over and over.
Everybody wants to change the world, but one thing's clear. No one ever wants to
Nothing More's latest album came out this past September, and with heavy touring still going on, it looks like the band is not going to slow down. They've quickly become radio darlings and are winning people over with their live shows, as well as songs like Do You Really Want It? Johnny Hawkins really gives it his all in songs like this, and it breaks the standard verse-chorus-verse format, which I do love.
Also, like Red Cold River, I think Do You Really Want It will be on the top 10 next month, but just barely, by a hair. There's so much other music coming up quickly after so many albums dropped this past month that there's going to be a lot of shuffling coming up.
Number 5, Gone Away by Five Finger Death Punch. I said it before and I'll say it again, rock radio loves Five Finger Death Punch. It's the posing, tough guy, college jerk, angry music at this point that just keeps rehashing the same song over and over again or making a lazy cover. This song being the latter. It's a cover that now has me reaching for the radio dial to change the station as soon as I hear it because it has worn out its welcome. I get that they have a big fan base, but the band has literally not done anything impressive or, well, put in any real effort in years. A song like this isn't even going to cruise control for the band, but rather just coasting in neutral until they gradually slow down naturally. Right now it feels like the band is on that slowdown, and if the expected new album sounds like what the band has been doing for the past few years, then it's going to be more of the same. Wasted potential.
This will be my long shot prediction of the month, but I don't think this cover of The Offspring will be on the top 10 next month. Or at least I'm hoping. Seriously, SiriusXM plays this song like they get paid every second it's on the air. Oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore.
Number 4, Zombie by Bad Wolves. One song that is climbing the charts fast after word of mouth, and the story behind it is from the newcomers Bad Wolves. Their new album Disobey comes out this month and will be much heavier than this cover of Zombie may allude to. Now that I've seen Bad Wolves live, I can honestly say that they could have a great future ahead of them. Now that this track is still going strong on the air with others from the new album getting played on metal stations like Liquid Metal, I hope people give Bad Wolves a chance. I think this cover is okay, but they have much more to offer than this one song that helped introduce them to a radio and satellite audience. In the meantime though, Zombie is sticking around for a while.
This Cranberries cover is going to be on the top 10 next month because the story behind it is just too good, and it's an introduction to a band and what they're capable of. I'm hoping the new album release shows more of what they are capable of though, in a sense of how they can be heavier and have more than just one cover song.
Number 3, Devil by Shinedown. Attention is now out and surged to the top of iTunes album sales thanks in part to Devil. Shinedown is another band that will get played constantly whenever they release new music, so regardless of what song is going to be from the new album, it'll get airtime. Devil now has been on the chart for only 7 weeks at this point, but it's already ranked at number 3. That should be enough to tell you how ready any FM rock DJ is to play a new Shinedown.
It's about to get heavy. It's about to be on.
After listening a bit more to the new album, it feels like Devil is definitely the style and direction that the band is going to be at for a while. Nothing really against it, but the fire from the days of The Sound of Madness feel like a distant memory now, and Devil kind of reflects that. I don't hate this song, but it's not Shinedown's best.
Will it be on the top 10 next month? Absolutely. It's Shinedown. That's just what they do on radio. I mean, DJs eat it up. However, I really wish that they would have gone a little bit heavier or even a little more varied than the sound they made on this new album, because Devil really is what you can expect across the board. Does anyone else miss the days of Devour and The Sound of Madness? I kinda do.
Number 2, Bulletproof by Godsmack. Speaking of lead-off singles, Bulletproof is sitting at number 2 after climbing 4 spots from last month and only being on the chart for 9 weeks. When Legends Rise was released a little over a week ago, and that album actually has stronger songs than this track. I said in the last Billboard Gets Raw that I thought the song was alright, but that the repetitive chorus does drag it down a bit. Godsmack is headlining festivals this spring and summer, along with a big co-headline tour with Shinedown, which I do think is worth seeing. Again, this is not the strongest song from the new album, but Bulletproof is not going anywhere as it's been climbing quickly. Is it terrible? Not at all. But I know Godsmack has better coming up.
I think when Legends Rise, the title track will eventually be on the top 10, and Bulletproof is going to be on the top 10 next month for sure. It's still ranked too high to go anywhere. And speaking of being still ranked too high...
Number 1, The Mountain by 3 Days Grace. Still on top since last month and doing what they do best on Billboard's mainstream rock chart is 3 Days Grace. If this keeps up, they will take the record of having the most #1 rock songs ever through this chart. The Mountain I think is okay and a step up from many 3 Days Grace songs that have hit #1. And radio loves this song like a fat kid loves free cake.
Every time I think I'm over it, I wake up at the bottom of it all again.
It feels like the trend of mainstream rock right now is playing on the safe bands. And what I mean by that is the bands who already have a fan base and have had many years of success on the radio. Even if the songs aren't barn burners, they are still enough to make fan bases happy. The top 3 on this list are kind of defending my theory on that. Nothing awful, but nothing really make me wanting to listen again. Nothing against 3 Days Grace, this song is fine too, but I'm not sure it warrants over a month at #1. Then again, this is what 3 Days Grace does, dominating rock radio. Whether or not it'll be at #1 a month from now is up in the air, but it'll be in the top 10 for sure. Once again, this band is at the top of the mountain.
I'm just surviving, keep climbing the mountain. Even when I feel like dying, keep climbing the mountain. Every time I think
And that was a look at the top 10 songs on Billboard's mainstream rock chart at the end of April. What was your favorite song in this week's top 10? Leave a comment down below telling everyone. Please subscribe. You can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook and Twitter.